Welcome right back to A&M in the AM, episode 27. I'm here with Mort. We're a couple days late. We can blame it on let's say we blame it on the election, and then we can
I think that's where we're going with, yeah.
Election, and then we're still a little sour from the weekend. I think it was
I kind of put it past me.
Yeah, I mean, if there were ever to be a freezing cold take, it would definitely be me saying 72-7.
I said 3, so
I guess you said 70-3.
so I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but it was. I don't even know what the play calling was, honestly. Like, it just did.
I wish I could tell you because I have no idea either.
Like, at first I was like, okay, it's gonna be a Michigan State game. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna be close. I was like, Michigan's gonna pull it out here in the second half, and then it just seemed like
they usually make the second half adjustments, but then the offense and the defense just stayed completely dead.
They stayed dry, and it honestly did not seem like Charbonnet or Haskins played that much. It seemed like it was more
I think Haskins had more than Evans.
I thought Evans came out as the starter, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I mean, either way, they couldn't run the ball no matter what because the offensive line was just giving them 0.7 seconds to do anything, passing and running.
Mayfield went down with an injury. I don't know what that turned into.
I think he came back. I stopped watching when there was like a few minutes left. When they were driving down the field with like 2 minutes left and they were throwing over the middle instead of going out of bounds, I knew it was over. I stopped watching.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that dampened Michigan or the whole weekend.
The worst offense I've seen in years.
Yeah. The whole weekend for me just was not good. I mean, obviously you had Saturday, Michigan lost. Sunday, Lions lost.
The usual.
I mean, no, we actually had a chance, but yeah, we lost there.
Since one of the Lions, I saw that Galladay's not playing and Stafford's corona hit now.
No, that was just information today. But what I saw is that he just came in contact with somebody. So he would basically have to test negative every single day up until Sunday to play.
So I would just suggest that they just tear it all down and tank again like they've been doing for the past 20 years.
Why? There's no point.
Because there was already a question, apparently, if they were going to beat the Vikings. If they don't have Stafford and their best receiver, then it's a GG.
Okay, and that's where David Blau comes in. All I'm saying. MVP season.
Is he going to play like he did on Thanksgiving last year?
Did he? I don't think he played that bad. He didn't play horrible. He didn't play the good or best, but he didn't play horrible.
I didn't think he played at all.
No, he played on Thanksgiving.
I know.
Something good that happened, Michigan basketball, top recruit.
That's all I ever look forward to nowadays. Michigan's a basketball school. I've been saying this for years.
Forget what was his name again?
That's why I was able to put the football aside because basketball is coming up this month.
What was his name again?
Caleb Houston.
And power forward, right? Power forward or center?
Power forward.
I would say it seems like we're recruiting a lot of big guys.
And that's what they said Juwan would do because he knows how to do a big guy. But he's an outside big guy, the opposite of Juwan. He can shoot.
Which is good because for the longest time, and it was probably because of our coach, but it seemed like we were more of a small ball school. We perfected it with Duncan. And
Beilein liked his shooters. He didn't like to score inside. That's why Austin Davis was not a factor his first few years and he barely even played because Teskey could shoot it a little bit. They had DJ Wilson that could play the small ball center, and Mo was there. He could shoot. Like they all operated from the 3-point line.
Yeah, but now that Howard's there, he obviously was power forward. So he was power forward, small forward.
He's like their center, I think.
He was a center.
Actually, it's like I think he was. I mean, because Weber was the shooter at power forward, so I feel like he was the inside part.
I just knew he was he was a bigger guy, but he was smaller. I knew that.
Yeah,
he's like 6'9", 6.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because I knew in the NBA, I knew at some points he played small forward, but as like a big small forward, as like a defensive guy.
Like Dennis Rodman did at shooting guard.
Yeah.
I
But
saw that people were saying that it's great to have Houston coming along because then you have senior year Johns stepping up to be the starting power forward, or Houston if he beats him out, and then you just bridge the way from Livers right to Houston. You're in good hands.
and then you have 6th-year Austin Davis at
Mm-hmm.
starting center. If that's not national championship front court, what is?
Number one recruiting class in the country.
Yeah,
Also,
if Johns and Davis is in a national championship front court, I don't know what is. Like,
I would have said that was a meme before, but the way Brandon Johns stepped it up last year, I became a Brandon Johns fan. I wasn't really that big on him before.
yeah.
What he did when Teskey was out or not Teskey, but Livers was out and Teskey wasn't doing crap, I became a Brandon Johns fan. So I look forward to him, actually.
And with Davis, I mean, this channel was built on the back of Austin Davis. So
I'd like to see him shooting a little mid range this year, and then I think they'd be pretty set. Because everybody in the Big Ten saw his moves last year. He goes to the basket, he'll fake a spin, go the other way. He's like a Hakeem up and under, and like all kinds of other things. I feel like if you can add a respectable mid range, you're straight. You got like cutters going in and stuff. Who starts?
Yeah, who's starting?
Probably Dickinson.
Oh yeah, I forgot. What is that? One guy that just got his transfer request accepted.
Yeah, Sean D. Brown.
Isn't he a center?
No, he's a small forward.
Oh, okay, good. I was about to be like that man. He if we have 3 centers, Jesus Christ. But he will start.
I think they plan on like splitting the minutes, like doing like they did last year with Teskey and Austin. They put like Teskey at power forward, Austin at center. I feel like they could do that with Johns. Johns would be small forward, power forward, even go small ball center.
I personally think that Hunter and Austin, I think Austin will get the nod at starter.
I think he should.
I think he'll
whoever beats each other out, and I feel like Juwan kind of already has Austin like as the
starter,
not like on a pedestal, but like as the guy to reach to. Like,
yeah,
he's been there the longest. He can be a captain. He knows the Big Ten and everything. Like,
I feel like he'll just be a starter for one. It's because like you said, he's been there the longest, and because like he can be a starter. And if you want Hunter playing, you can give him split minutes. Your union playing, you can play them at the 4 and 5. You can do that.
I mean, outside of favoriting him, I would start him because he brings. I mean, last year he would bring like a jolt of energy off the bench, but you add that to the starters, and so like he'll know what he's doing really with the starting. Then you have Dickinson coming off the bench with the other freshmen, like the other few freshmen, like Zeb and stuff, and then Johns. I feel like that could work, but if not, then you just start Dickinson and you let Austin be the energy off the bench with Johns and Zeb.
I mean, you also got that extra defense with his ears that can just like.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
they're like satellite signals blocking every shot.
Yeah, it's an all around. I feel like Michigan could, whatever happens this year, because we don't know if March Madness is going to happen. I feel like Michigan can make respectable. Oh my God, you know what I'm trying to say. A good run with whatever tournament happens.
I think it just depends on how the young guys play. I think they're built pretty well. It just how fast Dickinson and Zeb will translate in, and then I still think the X factor of Terrence Williams is going to be underrated.
So tell me you're starting. Tell me you're starting 5, and then we'll move on here.
Mike Smith, Eli Brooks, Franz Wagner, Isaiah Livers, Austin Davis.
Wait, who'd you have your point?
Mike Smith.
I kind of forget we have Franz. I always forget about him.
Yeah, he won't have him after this year.
What about Nunez?
Nope. He's holding down the last spot of the bench still. I feel like Jace will play more minutes than Nunez.
Nunez. He'll be the spark off the bench to do TikTok dances.
He'll be like the Nets bench back a few years ago with the memes of the Nets bench dancing. Like, that's him over there. He'll be doing the renegade and stuff on the bench
every time somebody scores. All right, so another good thing for Detroit sports, finally, we were just talking about last week when it was going to happen, but AJ Hinch accepted the job as the Tigers manager, or I don't know if you can say accepted but now the Tigers manager. There was a
I
lot
was
of
happy
questions
beyond belief.
Yeah, there was a lot of question from around the league. Like everyone knew Hinch was gonna obviously be a manager somewhere this year. He's a respectable coach. Yes, you obviously have or manager. Yeah, yes, you have the cheating scandal in his book, but like other than that, he did manage good teams outside of the cheating.
And I think that like I was saying, like I was kind of skeptical about the other teams, how they would react.
Mm-hmm.
Like how I said that Rob Manfred would have to look at the umpires for Tigers games, see if they're officiated the right way and stuff, and see them taking out on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Or even like players coming at them, but at the same time, like I had seen, like it's the other players and everybody are mad at the players. They're not really mad at Hinch anymore because he came out, apologized, said exactly what happened. He accepted his suspension. Whether people want to count it for a 60-day span or not is a different story.
And like
he was just transparent, even though people think he wasn't. Like he went on an interview with Tom Verducci days after he got fired and said exactly what happened. Like,
and the one thing is, I think players and teams are mainly mad at the Astros and not more at Hinch anymore. Because yes, like you said, Hinch was very transparent during the whole situation. He kind of owned up to what happened, what they did. The whole situation, he was like, "Okay, I accept. I deserve."
He explained how he was trying to put ends to it, and they just kept doing. The veteran players and the other coaches kept doing it, aka Carlos Beltran and Alex Cora.
Yeah, and I don't know if he really said that put the blame on himself, but he kind of accepted the fact. But I think the players in the league are more mad at that the players involved in it weren't suspended. That Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, that I know you say some of those guys might have not partaken, but I'm just saying they were more mad at that the players involved in the situation, the players knew that what they were doing, knew that they were taking these signs, knew that they were cheating, that they didn't get suspended. And I think they respect Hinch more that he kind of accepted the fact, accepted his. He didn't really argue with it. I don't think he appealed it at all. I think he kind of just took it.
He said in that interview, he said right when like they started looking into it after everything happened, like he knew something was going to happen. He was just accepting. He's like, I know something's going to happen. They'll find their evidence. They'll see that I was trying to stop it, and I just got to take what's given, and I'll just be fortunate if I can come back or not.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly, I was between him or obviously Don Kelly, and how long
he's one of the favorites for the Red Sox. Apparently, it's it's a 3-horse race between him, Cora, and someone else. I would say they just get Cora back, but at the same time, people may get mad because they fired Cora just again for a 60-day season, and then he's just back again.
I mean, but in all honesty, like,
I don't want Don to go there. I want Don as a coach.
As a bench coach, so then he has a chance to come to the Tigers at one point.
Yes, just for him to stay. Either if he, I mean, I want the best for him, but I don't feel like Boston's the place for it. Like he's currently at his home, where he was drafted, where he grew up, and everything. Like he's got a good job there, but I also feel like AJ Hinch has got a call. Like bring the man to his second home.
And okay, how long is Hinch's contract for? Do we know that?
I still haven't seen like an official detail. They just keep saying multi-year, so people are saying easily 3 to 4, maybe 5 years.
I would assume 4 to 5 years.
I know it's an expensive one. They said during the press conference, Chris Ilitch said, "Yeah, this is an expensive investment. It shows we want to start paying for our team." And so I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not familiar with managers' contracts, but I'm gonna say 4 to 5 years. $100 million? No. Okay,
that's a player deal.
Like
my experience. Like 60. I don't know how they actually go. My experience is only with MLB The Show, and they usually demand like if you're going 4 years, depending on what your current state is, they demand like 11 to 15 million
a year.
So again, that's not real life. So maybe 15 to 20. I honestly don't know. I never pay attention to manager contracts.
And with Hinch, they probably, I'm not gonna say got a discount.
Yeah, maybe it's him. Maybe since it's him, I'd say 25 to 30. If you want to give like, so it's still like a player contract though. Like
so
that's what
25
Alex
to 30 a
Bregman's
year
signed to right now.
Are you saying 25 to 30 a year or 25 to
No,
30
just all
together?
together.
Okay, so yeah, not so yeah. I would say probably that. I mean,
I would sit at the 15 to 20 range, and like that as the low part.
I'm gonna say 20 million. One, former player. Two, obviously he's coming off suspension from one of the biggest cheating scandals since steroids. So
I'm just happy the White Sox fumbled the bag. They were kind of expected to talk to him, interview him, but then they found Tony La Russa. They loved him. AJ never had to go there. AJ only came to Detroit because he was called 30 minutes after the World Series.
I'm kind of happy that
he came and Al Avila didn't let him go. I'm surprised Al Avila didn't let him go. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he didn't let him go back to Houston. He said, "Now you're staying here. We're getting this done."
I'm kind of happy that La Russa went back to the White Sox. I mean, obviously he's he's an old head.
Go ahead and ruin them, please.
I don't think you'll ruin them.
I don't think so either. They have too much talent to ruin just one man, but
you really
I feel like
can't.
Some decisions, like please
I
just
say
mess
this
them up.
now. I say this now, and a year from now, I'm probably gonna be biting my tongue on it. But you really can't mess up with what you have on that team right now. You have a 300 hitter, two of the best young guys and outfielders in the league right now, in Eloy and Luis. You have a MVP caliber first baseman. I would say coming out of his prime though, or maybe just hitting his prime. Who knows? And then you got Johan Makata at third, who did struggle near the end of the season, could not hit a ball to save his life. And you got your good pitching. So you really can't
that's the thing about them. They have a future MVP in Robert, the current MVP in Abreu, because he's gonna win it this year. We were watching the Gold Glove Awards last night. They had Grandal in the Gold Glove running, and James McCann. Both of their catchers, and Grandal was their DH.
Yeah, he did catch a couple games though.
And Robert won the Gold Glove in center field, which it's whatever. Kevin Kiermaier wasn't in the running, so that's why he got it. But
did Kevin Kiermaier even play this year?
Yeah, he's an all-time platinum glove winner. He's perennial. He's come to the year end, and Kevin Kiermaier is winning the Gold Glove because he doesn't really hit very well. He's there to field the ball.
Yeah,
but just please ruin them. Just make them all mad. Make them want to leave. Like Tim Anderson's going to be getting ready for an extension. Make them want to leave, and just do something to mess them up because I don't want to see them for the next 10 years, just dominating everybody.
I mean, that does come into the question that MLB free agency has started.
Mm-hmm.
From what, I mean, we knew it started. It was supposed to start November 1st, and it started. But Jeff Passan basically said today that you're not gonna see really any teams make move to winter meetings more than like.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because that just makes sense because that's when it usually is anyway. Especially like right now. It makes even more sense to be then. But I also want to clear my name. On one of the other episodes when you guys talked about it over the weekend, Joe had said that I said the Tigers were getting Marcus Stroman. I said it'd be nice to get it would be ideal to get somebody like him. Yeah. I didn't say just completely him because he was referring to the talk that I made.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, no. When he said that, I don't remember you saying that. I do remember you putting him on your talk, but personally, I wouldn't want Stroman.
I wouldn't either. But I was meaning like at the time Charlie Morton hadn't declined, and it's like, Charlie Morton's going to go to a contender.
No, the Rays declined Charlie Morton. He didn't.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah,
he's going to go to a contender, and like, there's no reason to really get him right now. There's absolutely no point in talking to Bauer. Because he's only going to be signing 1-2 year deals. And it's like
low key though.
the other veteran guys they've got in the past few years have been straight garbage because they've been like 36 years old and they fall apart within the first week of the season.
But if you said Illich said in that interview that they
want to start spending, but the thing is, there's nobody in the free. There's no like good free agents this year outside of Bauer and Springer, which just leads me to the next point. You go out and make a splash with Springer, yeah, besides him, but he's looking like he's a lock to the Mets.
DJ LeMahieu,
and he's going back to the Yankees, which is crazy, which is kind of crazy because the Yankees already have Garrett Cole on $300 million. They're about to have to extend Judge. They're gonna have to get Glaber. Whatever they give to DJ now. And then
DJ's in the MVP race, right?
He has been. I don't know if he is this year.
No, I think he is.
He probably is. Yeah, I think it's Abreu, him, and somebody else.
Oh no, it's Abreu, him, and Ramirez.
Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Shows the AL Central again.
Shout out MLB agent.
But I was saying like an ideal guy. He's like maybe 29, maybe early 30s. Like I was just saying, Stroman. He came to mind. He's gonna want to go to contender because he complains a lot. He cries about everything as it is. But I mean, it'd be nice to get something like that. Just a guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Wasn't he on the?
I just said him because he was the first one that came to mind. If I look at it, maybe you can think of some other ones, but I just mean like just one of them. Because everybody's saying Archer too. Like I would take a chance on Chris Archer, put him in the bullpen.
Chris Archer wouldn't be bad. He is with the. Who is he with now?
He was with the Pirates, but I swear he hasn't played in years. And when he went to the Pirates, he was straight garbage. But I mean, that's a guy you take a chance on. He put him in the bullpen. Like I've always liked that idea.
I mean, you put him in the bullpen. If he shows out, you throw him in the rotation.
Yeah, you keep him as like a spot starter, long reliever. Like just give him a few innings here and there. It's a low risk move.
I mean, or even with how the MLB. I know this was a thing obviously before this year. It's not a new concept, but if teams see that it worked, I could see the opener becoming more of a factor with a pitching rotation now.
Yeah, which they already are. Some teams save their fifth spot for an opener.
Yeah, and I could see maybe like a Chris Archer, like you said, or a Stroman being like that opener. Or even if he develops and is able to go more innings, I could feel like that's somewhere where he could start is being an opener.
I feel like you can have a respectable team or rotation going into next year. You could have Turnbull at the 1, Boyd.
Turnbull at the 1, really?
Yeah, Turnbull's the best pitcher they have on the team.
Okay.
Turnbull, Boyd, Mize, Skubal, and then you have the 5th spot still open. You get a guy like Stroman or, like I said, another vet, because realistically that's what they need, and that's what they've been trying to get. They've just been getting the wrong vets in at the wrong time. They were getting these vets before Mize and Skubal were up, so like, what's the point in getting the vet there?
Or you just
they just get hurt.
You say fuck it and have the youngest rotation bring up Manning too.
That too, yes. But people are saying that, but people also say Manning's still a year away. I have no idea. I haven't seen Manning pitch.
Or maybe
ever.
Or maybe you have Manning. Obviously, this isn't the ideal spot. You have Manning come out. You have him in the bullpen.
I like Faedo in the bullpen. I think he makes it. I think he makes the team out of spring training, out of the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm still big on the Faedo process going to the bullpen. Yeah, I think he could be very valuable out of the bullpen, especially like then if you don't get like a guy like Chris Archer, then you definitely do that, because Alex Faedo is not getting any younger. Yeah. He's like 26 now. You drafted him in the first round 3 years ago, and he just barely made it to AAA. And like, it's just like they're taking their time, and like the same thing with Jake Rogers. He's about to be 26 too, and he's played half a season in the major leagues. You traded him for one of the best pitchers ever, and you can't find a spot for him somehow. You'd rather have Grayson Greiner as the backup and Eric Haas.
That's, I don't know. Our catcher is a weird situation because like
I'm in favor of keeping Romine another year.
Yeah, me too. I
want the three core vets that they had this year: Romine, Scope, and Crone to stay. Okay, and I think everybody's saying the most realistic one out of that group is Crone, which I get it because he's coming back from the surgery and everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if I want to push heavy off of Scope. He's only 28 years old. He's the best second base, not the best, but statistically, name-wise, he's not. Statistically, he is a top 5 second baseman in the league. He's led the league in home runs or led second baseman in home runs since 2016 or something like that.
Realistically, I I do feel like obviously you're saying Crone is everyone's option to come back. I don't. Yes, I would want him to because he played really good before the injury, but like that kind of screws over what they had going at the end of the season with Candelario there,
Yeah,
and
and
then
it just eliminates Paredes, which I mean he did look very good, but he's also just going to be turning 20 years old.
but I mean,
So
and
you
I
have
say
him
this
back
like
in AAA. He's got his feet wet, and he develops like his eyes already major league ready. His bat already is kind of. You just get the more bat to ball skills, which he does have. You just get him more consistent reps, and he'll be ready to go. If you sign Crone to 2 year deal,
do we still have Nico?
yeah. But I feel like Nico might be on the move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say.
after the Gold Glove incident that he tweeted about.
Wait,
But
what happened?
he should have won Gold Glove, honestly.
Okay.
AL shortstop Gold Glove.
Who won it?
I don't know. Oh, JP Crawford.
For who?
He's with
I
the
know who
Mariners.
he plays for, but like I just can't remember.
Yeah. Nico should have won it, but Nico tweeted after. It was like ESPN talking about him
Yeah.
and how good he was at like defensively, and he said, "Yeah, I can." Or he like tweeted the video and said, "I can get another one or I can win one if the Tigers let me," or something like that. Like just like it felt like a shot either at the Tigers or at Willie Castro. And if you're coming for Willie Castro's dome, sorry, Nico, I've been a Nico fan, but if you're coming at Willie's dome,
But at the same time, I
just take
feel
a
like
step out.
yes, I feel like that was taking a shot at the Tigers, but I also feel like that's taking a shot at the MLB in a sense, saying like they don't give the Tigers like they don't
Yeah,
give the Tigers the credit that they deserve. And I
yeah.
mean, uh, I wasn't planning on going on this rant here, but I feel like that more or less goes into any sport really for Detroit. Because when you look at Detroit, yes, they've had good teams in the past. Like obviously the Lions maybe haven't been on every single one of their like lists, but like the Lions have had years like where Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford have been good. Obviously, the Tigers have gone to World Series, have been consistent in the playoffs. The Pistons have had good years. They were consistent in the 2000s, went to playoffs. I almost said Redskins. The Red Wings, they were a consistent playoff team. And it seems like in the past, yes, in the past 5 years, Detroit teams have been god awful at sports. We haven't been able to produce a lick of a playoff berth in any sport, I don't think. But I feel like it's kind of, I don't want to say league wise, but like sports wise, that Detroit sports always kind of get hated on. Because if you look at it like Stafford, I'm using this as an example because it's the most recent thing other than like the Tigers getting hated on for not being elected for awards, like with Castro not being in the
Yeah. I was gonna say Willie should have also been in
yeah,
the Rookie of the Year.
it goes into the matter of fact, like if Stafford makes a pass that like Pat Mahomes would make, Stafford's not gonna get the attention that Pat Mahomes get. Even if it's the same exact pass and Stafford did it better, he's not gonna get that respect because he plays for Detroit and Detroit's a laughing stock. And it goes into the fact of the Tigers. If Castro had an amazing season, which he did, the second half of the season, amazing season. If he played full season, probably going to be in that top 3 for Rookie of the Year. But he's not going to get that respect because he played half a season and he plays for the Tigers.
I mean, it
Laughing
also helped
stock.
that Christian Javier made the playoffs with the Astros.
Yeah. So I mean, it just goes into the fact that like it doesn't help that like Detroit's not a favorable place to come for some people because we're kind of neglected when it comes to league votes or anything league wise. We're kind of neglected. You're not going to get the publicity. You're not going to get the views. You're not going to get the showing that you would get if you went to an LA team, a New York team, even a Cleveland team. You're not going to get that. Even if Cleveland has bad teams, they still get the publicity because they're Cleveland. LeBron was there.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are notoriously bad, but notoriously popular. Like, I don't know.
I think it's because they were a meme for being bad so long.
Yeah, that's just my little rant there about that.
But the last thing on the Tigers thing, my ideal opening day roster, since I did it for Michigan for the first game, my ideal would be Turnbull, Romine, Crone Scope, Willie, Candelario, Springer, Jacoby, Victor Reyes.
And then DH?
Miguel.
Okay.
Of course.
And then give me a reliever and a closer.
Buck Farmer and Brian Garcia.
Okay.
I'll give you 3. Tyler Alexander.
Tyler. Okay. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I like Tyler instead of Buck or.
No, I was just giving you 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So you think Jacoby stays in center and Springer goes to left?
Yeah, because like.
Or right.
Back in the day, Springer did like before the Astros did renovation. He did play in the like they had one of the bigger center fields when they had that hill out there.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of that. And it's like he's still pretty like above average defensively, but I'm taking Jacoby there because he's got the speed. He knows it. He's been playing there his whole career. He's one of the top defensive center fielders, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just makes it easier transition for Springer because he's not getting any younger. It makes it a little easier on him just to focus on the hitting if you're going to put him in left field because Jacoby's going to run things down the gap. And that defense in the outfield is just very good because, like I said, Springer's a good fielder, whatever. Jacoby's running everything down, and the Victor Reyes is very good.
He looked really good near the end of the season.
He catches the ball a little weird, but as long as it's caught, I don't really care.
Okay.
So he makes plays there too. I mean, I would have said Daz Cameron because he's also good defensively. He showed a little bit at the plate. I'm not fully on the Daz Cameron. I'm not fully on the Daz Cameron train. I think Victor Reyes I think Victor Reyes is a little more valuable being a switch hitter.
You think Daz makes opening day roster?
No.
I
think he threatens if they don't get anybody else. If they don't sign Springer, then yes, he makes the opening day roster because he's miles ahead of Christian Stewart.
So you think Daz starts if they don't bring?
I wouldn't be surprised. Victor Reyes
you think they would go Cameron, Jacoby, Reyes?
Yeah, I want to be surprised because, like I said, he's so much better than Christian Stewart. Christian Stewart just lost his number. Hinch just took it from him, so it's getting good.
I was gonna say when you look at Cameron, yes, obviously, like he had a kind of when they brought him up, it was like kind of like I don't know. But then like as time went on, once he got his feet wet, because when you think about it, he wasn't really getting anything down in Toledo. Yeah,
I'm not rooting for him to do terrible, but I'm also not on the Daz Cameron train like everybody else is. Like,
I understand.
I of course want him to come around, but at the same time, I'm not gonna act like he's like this big time guy. Yeah. So I mean, if you have to, then yeah. If you don't get George Springer, I mean, which one did you take, George Springer or Daz Cameron? It's a little dicey there. I mean, then again, the Astros did trade Daz Cameron away too to let George Springer keep playing. So I think your answer is right there.
Okay, so moving on to the next and last thing we have to talk about is. Hold on, I was looking to see something. We got NBA. NBA officially is going to be starting the 21st, 22nd.
Officially unofficial.
Yeah, somewhere in between the 21st and the 25th of December, the NBA will be starting their season, as voted on by players, even though our Lord and Savior, Danny Green, said players don't want to play that day or play that soon. So, yeah. So NBA almost 2 months after it's finished, is going to be back. I mean, I like that. It's going to be exciting.
I don't blame them for wanting to delay it, but at the same time, it's like you can only delay it so long. Also, like load management was going to become a thing. You still have LeBron on your team for the Lakers. I don't want to hear Danny Green say one more word about it because we already talked about it. I know that burp just got picked up. I don't want to hear him say one more word about it because we already mentioned like he was a non-factor. I don't care how old you are or whatever you think you played, you're good to go.
And the thing is about the season coming up so fast is officially, unofficially, free agency has already started from what I've heard, and
guys already signed.
Yeah, players are already on teams, like just officially, unofficially, and officially. 2 weeks from as we're recording this, since we're recording this on Wednesday for the first time ever, The NFL draft is 2 weeks away on the 18th. So that's honestly,
Isn't the NBA draft like a week or two away too?
No, I said NBA.
You said NFL.
Oh, NBA. Yeah,
I
not
was so
NFL. NBA.
confused.
NBA. NBA draft is on the 18th. I meant NBA. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
So NBA draft is 2 weeks away, and it's crazy to think that we've waited how many months? Almost 8 months since we started. We started the channel like a month or two before the draft was supposed to happen, I think. And we're
Yeah, because we planned on it because we started with the NFL draft and we planned on in the NBA draft being the next big thing. Instead it was the MLB.
So I mean, the 18th, we're gonna have a draft day special.
Oh, probably. I just want to point out, not like anybody's gonna watch this. We're not drinking the Devin Booker getting traded Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, no. First of all, no.
No matter what team it is, I saw the Hawks are in on it. That's an interesting team. Very interesting. Still, absolutely no defense.
If we're talking about Devin Booker, half the league wants, or 3/4 of the league wants James Harden now. Apparently he's on the trading block.
I mean, he already was, and they said if that Houston guy went to Philadelphia, which he did, that they would even go to lengths of trading Ben Simmons for him.
Oh no, I saw that they're either gonna trade. It's gonna be Ben Simmons or Embiid. It's gonna be one of the two.
Like they said that GM is just absolutely in love with James Harden. That's the reason why he got him to Houston and stuff. Like he's been following him around. He's like has a bromance with them, like behind the scenes voodoo stuff. Like him and James Harden, like blood brothers.
And so yeah, I think we'll hear a lot within the next. I'll give it till next Wednesday, and I think that's when you're going to start seeing kind of movement in the league. You're going to start seeing players being dropped. You're going to start seeing actual rumors of players possibly signing with this team and that team. You're going to see real trade scenarios coming out, not the made-up ones that you see from Bleacher Report.
And certified neck beards all over the world.
Yeah, you're gonna see real trades within the next week at least.
I just don't think, especially now, like we've talked about it before, Devin Booker to the Timberwolves makes absolutely no sense. No defense being played. I saw the Hawks, like I said, that's an interesting move. Still no defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say then your backcourt wouldn't have any defense.
Yeah, that holds Trey's development even further and Booker's. So yeah, I mean, whether I know he fit on about 3/4 of the league. Would he help 3/4 of the league? Maybe, but at the same time, he's like a guy I feel like is designed to like. Ayton's probably going to have to be the best player he plays with. Like he's designed to be that guy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Booker's from Michigan, right?
Yes. I sent to the DM him in a Pistons uniform. It was the ugly Motor City tire track things.
Oh, I hate that one.
Also, the Pistons were supposed to draft him. I forgot who they took inside of him, but it was when like Booker was like the 12th pick or something. I don't think it was the Stanley Johnson draft.
No, I think it was.
I know it might be. I know we like to joke every draft is the Stanley Johnson draft, but it might actually be that. I don't know, but either way, it was like real close when it was they passed on Booker and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking it up right here, but I'm about 90%.
Because I think that might have been the Trey Burke one too.
2015.
Yeah, it might have been the Trey Burke one. I don't know. It might be a little after.
We're looking here real fast.
I think he was like the 12th or something like that.
Draft selection.
He was real slept on.
Yeah, it was Stanley Johnson.
That's what I figured.
These were all the players picked after Stanley
I think they
Johnson.
said that like he didn't even work out for the Pistons or something. It was something insane.
Let's just read the players picked after Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to come to the Pistons' defense, but in their defense, the guys that were picked after Stanley Johnson are very much better than him. But also the guys picked before Stanley Johnson still aren't that great.
Actually, when you look at it, Devin Booker was the only All-Star that was picked after Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, but he was probably not the only good player.
I mean, you had Kelly. I'll read them here. You had Frank Kaminsky, Justice Winslow, Miles Turner, Trey Lyles, Devin Booker, Cameron Payne, Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier. Obviously, that Terry Rozier kind of panned out. Now he's kind of on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
Rashard Vaughn, Sam Decker. Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Jaron Grant, DeLon Wright, Justin Anderson, Bobby Portis, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Titus Jones, Janelle Martin, a guy that's not even in the league because he's still
And who
overseas.
were the Stanley Johnson was the 5th, right?
Eighth. He was eighth.
Oh.
And then
Who
you
was
had
before him?
what?
Who was before him?
Hold on, let me just finish this here real fast. You had Larry Nance, R.J. Hunter, Chris McAuliffe, Kevin Looney, and that's all you got. And then to start off the second, you had Cedi Osman and Montrezl Harrell to start off the second.
Dang.
Yeah. So, but before him, you had Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Jahlil Okafor, Chris Porzingis, Mario Hezonja, Willie Cauley-Stein, Emmanuel Mudiay.
Hezonja was that high, and Mudiay.
Yeah, Mudiay was 7.
See, like after D'Lo and maybe Okafor, it really fell off until you got almost out of the lottery.
Yeah,
which is like that's what I'm saying. Like it was a weird draft. Like it wasn't top heavy. It wasn't. It also wasn't like just straight up like solid. I mean, now if you look at it, maybe I guess it was like bottom.
Honestly,
heavy.
Hold on. Let me read off some of these. I'm not gonna read off the whole second second round, but to start off the second round, you had Harrell and Osman. Obviously, Harrell is 6th man of the year, and then Osman is obviously he's a good role player. Then you had Willie Hernan Gomez, good role player. Richard Holmes, good role player. Josh Richardson, good role player. Pat Connaughton, good role player. Norman Powell, good role player. Like you had a bunch of good role players in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But instead, you take Stanley Johnson and that high.
And then Jesus, half the second round was just overseas player Marcus Thornton. He ended up playing, I think. Oh, never mind. No, wrong Marcus Thornton.
Oh my.
But yeah, you had a lot of good role players after him, and I don't know. Like I personally would have liked Montrezl Harrell over
or just absolutely anybody, even Frank Kaminsky. Really, you put Frank Kaminsky at power forward next to Drummond.
No, that because I think at that point they were still running the Greg Monroe Drummond experiment.
Maybe. Shoot, might have just still been Josh Smith.
Oh, no, Josh Smith, he was that small forward at that point for us, I think.
Just put Kaminsky at shooting guard then. He was coming off the player of the year, wasn't he? I think he was the player of the year. Like when Wisconsin went to the – that's why Sam Decker was that high because like it was when Wisconsin went to the national championship.
Yeah. But all honesty, Pistons don't trade. Nothing happens. Who do the Pistons take at? What are we, 8, 7? Whichever one. Who do we take?
I've been saying if no trades happen – you hope that Killian Hayes falls to you.
I'll get my top 3. Killian Hayes, Denny, because I've been seeing.
I don't think Denny falls now. I know it's weird right before them, but
I've been seeing he's been going high, but at the same time, I see he's falling for some weird reason. Even though he's the top, only true small forward in the top.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because he's like projected 2 through 6. But at the same time, they don't know like exactly a hard number for it. So I don't know.
So Denny and then Halliburton. I'm sticking strong on Halliburton.
The Halliburton Kool-Aid.
What?
You're still drinking the Halliburton Kool-Aid.
I have to. For some reason I'm still high on Halliburton. So those are my top 3 that if we don't trade out. Obviously, if we trade out and we are able to get into top 3, LaMelo or Anthony Edwards.
They're gonna take Vernon Carey or something. Just something absolutely stupid. I know it's not the old like Stan Van Gundy picking, but same time, like it's still the Pistons.
Yeah, now it's Dwayne. No, who's
it's the Thunder
he's our general manager now too, right?
It's that guy that came from the Thunder.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. No, okay.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, he developed some. He had literally 3 MVPs on his team. So okay. Never mind. I'm kind of chill now. I'm kind of chill with that. That's why I'm thinking.
That's why I haven't doubted like a possible trade. Like the guy knows what he's doing. It seems like.
Yeah. So I know we didn't really go into the Pistons, but we've done it for the other 2 teams. Give me opening day starting 5.
The Pistons.
Yep. I know we really haven't dug into what they're gonna do, but give me opening day starting 5.
They're signing Trey Burke, starting him at point guard.
Okay.
Kennard, Tony Snell.
Jesus Christ.
Saku and Christian Wood.
That's okay. Apparently the Knicks are high on Christian Wood. They're going to give him a max deal, and he's going to get 5 years.
Or Trey is a 6-man start. Killian Hayes, I don't care.
He's going to get Christian Wood's going to get 5 years, $100 million from the Knicks.
I mean, if they want to do that, then let them. You just take Vernon Carey like you want to do. So,
I see Tony Snell's on the out from what I've heard. He's not going to stay in.
I don't know. I just assume Tony Snell. Like I said, I don't know their roster. Just put Bruce Brown there. I don't care.
Yeah, he'll probably
just be tanking again for anybody. I don't even know who the headline is for the next year.
Yeah, but Pistons are in a rough spot, just like I said earlier. So
they'll be going for Zaire Wade soon.
Yeah. I think that's all we got for you guys. It feels like a longer video today. So I hope you guys like that. If you guys subscribe and like the video, and I think we also talked about maybe changing days possibly, but
I think it was a joke, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, we didn't talk about it. It was kind of forced upon us after I joked about it.
No, but I mean, because I definitely still want to do our video on the 18th, so we can have our predictions come out that morning.
Mm-hmm. I just want to point out my camera still doesn't focus on me this entire time, and I'm getting real triggered.
It's looked good. You're good. So I think that's all we got for you guys. You guys subscribe and like, and that'll help us out a lot. And we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Next week.
See you guys next time.